Today we're going to do our warm-up, which we suggest you do before any of our workouts. It's a standard warm-up, and myself will be doing the standing exercise and SJ will be doing our seated option. So we're going to start with a bit of mobility, but first and foremost, can we just get a little march going with your feet, nothing too intense, and we'll do head to toe. So we're going to look over to our left shoulder, slowly back to the centre and over to our right, and again back to the centre and to the left, and centre and to the right. And one more time on each side, so centre, left, centre, right. Excellent, keep that little march going for me, and we'll move on to the shoulders, and we're going to come up to your ears and push all the way down into your shoulders. And again up and all the way down. Good, and up and down and up and down, and final one for me, up to the ears, drop it down into the sockets. Good, and then we're going to take it into backward rotations. So the shoulders are going to come up to the ears, back and down. Keep going, nice smooth movement, really bring those shoulders all the way up, back and down. Got 3 more to do, so we're doing rotations of 6. This is number 5 and number 6. Excellent, then just settle your shoulders down. All right, so we'll do our chest and upper back stretch now. So if you want to keep your feet moving, give yourselves a real big hug at chest height, really wrap your arms round, relax your arms and send them back, and then hug again, and relax, and hug, and relax, and another big hug, relax, 2 more, 1, and final one. Excellent, okay, and then just go back to that little march. Then we're going to take this march and we're just going to open our stance so it's a little bit wider than shoulders, and you're just going to lean down one side, then come back up to centre and slowly down to the other side. Then back up and over and up and over, and one more on each side, down and down. Perfect, just do a little bit of a feet march for me before we go into our next core mobility. So again, we bring those feet slightly wider than shoulders, and either hands in front or hands on hips. You're just going to turn to the left, keeping the hips facing forward, come back to the centre and to the right. So nice and slowly, we're going round to our left, just to where it's comfortable, back to the centre and right, and last one on each side, back to centre and finally to the right. Excellent. Bring those feet back into a little march. I'm going to start to open the hip area now. So you might want a balancing aid if you are stood up. And SJ, like I say, we'll do the seated version. But what we're going to do, we're going to do a toe tap forward, then we're going to swing the hip out to the side and tap it behind us, sweep it forward. Side, back, sweeping forward, side, back. Excellent. A couple more on this side. This is number 5. And last one, forward, side, back. And just a little march, and we're going to do the same on the opposite side, so I'll just switch the chair around. So we're going to take a forward tap, swing out to the side, behind, sweeping forward. Good. Keep standing nice and tall, keep your core tight, it'll help with your balance. 2 more, last one. Good, okay, and then just bring back to that little march. I'm going to start to warm up the knees as well as the hips. So nice and slow, what I want you to do is a high knee raise. So bring the knee up as high as we can. So from the side you can see getting a real good bend in the hip and the knee. So they come up and down. Again, the chair's there for balance as you bring the knee high. Just a couple more on each leg. And last one. Excellent. And then let's not forget about our ankles. So again, balance aid is there, and what we're going to do, imagine a beer mat on the floor. You're going to hit it with your heel and then hit it with your toe. So you're hitting exactly the same spot. Really good flexion and extension of the ankle. Looks a little bit like a line dancing move. Last one, and little march, and then we're going to swap legs. Same on the other leg. So heel, toe. Excellent, good. Really good flexion on that ankle. Start to warm it up. And last one. All right, back to that march. Okay, so our joints have all had the chance to get mobile now, so we're going to start to increase our heart rate a little bit. So this march comes a little bit more purposeful, and we start to bring the arms in a little bit. And we're just going to do our leg movements, then we'll repeat the leg movements, and we're going to add some arm movements to really increase that pulse. Okay, so from this march, we're going to go into a heel dig. And heel dig's really simple, just digging your heels forward. So heel tap forward. Again, SJ is doing the seated version, so it's exactly the same movement, tapping those heels forward, keeping the chest nice and high. Okay, a couple more. And then we're going to go back into that march, and off we go. So when we're in that march, the arms are bringing in a little bit of a pump. And then we're going to move back onto another lower body movement. And this time you're going to tap your toes out to the side. So it's a little side tap. So tap toes, left, then right. Okay, so it's not a side step, it's just a side tap. Good. Again, if you need the chair in front of you to rest your hands on whilst you're doing this, that's absolutely fine. Or you can do the seated version, which SJ is demonstrating. Keep that going. And then in 3, 2, 1, going back to that march. Okay. Okay, so next movement we'll do is from this march, we're this time going to tap our toes forward. So instead of a heel forward, we're sending our toes. So nice pointy toes, tap it forward, bring it back. Get those toes nice and pointed. Again, if you need the chair for support, you can rest your hand on it. And SJ is doing exactly the same movement, just in a seated position with good seated posture, sitting up nice and tall, shoulders back and down. Okay. And then in 3, 2, 1, we'll go back into that march. Keeping the knees coming up, nice and rhythmical. Arms are moving. Okay. We're now going to send these toes backwards, okay? So again, if you need the balance aid, by all means have that. And what we're going to do, we're just going to tap the toe backwards. Now, if you're doing the seated version, we just want you to do a heel tap forward, but really pull those toes up as you're tapping the heels forward, just to get the same sort of muscles engaged. Keep it going, keep those toes tapping behind you. You'll be getting a little bit warmer now, but that's okay. That's the aim of this warm-up. Okay, and then in 3, 2, 1, we're coming back to that march. Okay, so for those of us standing, we're going to do a hamstring curl now. SJ is going to do something slightly different, but for the standing, what we're going to do, we're going to take your stance a little bit wider, and you're going to bring your heel up to your bum. Okay, so from the side, you can see my heel is coming up to my bum. And we're just going to rock if you rock from side to side, just helps you get a little bit of rhythm in it. SJ is doing a high knee lift. So we're sort of engaging the same muscles, but just in a different action. Okay. Keep that going, keep the heel coming up. Keep the knees flexing. And then in 3, 2, 1, we're going to go back to that march. Okay, so we've got the final part of this warm-up coming now, and this is where we're really going to increase your pulse rate. You're going to start to feel a little bit warmer. In your home exercise guide, you have the RPE scale. So 1 is where you're sat down relaxing watching Coronation Street, and 10 is when you are really doing everything you possibly can. On that scale, by the end of this warm-up, you'll be around a 4, 5, possibly even a 6 after this last part. Okay, so the leg action is going to be the same, but we're going to bring in our arms. So the heel digs, start tapping those heels forward. Arm movement is going to be an arm curl, so you're bending at the elbows, bringing the hands up to the shoulders. Keep the elbows nice and tucked into the side. Nice controlled movement. Keep the heels digging forward. Excellent. Okay. And then in 3, 2, 1, we're back to that march. So when we're marching this time, our arms are really pumping, we're really keeping the intensity there. Okay, so we're going to go into the side tap, where the toes come out to the side. This time our arm action, so just step a little bit back so we don't hit each other, SJ. And we're going to do a side arm raise. So arms come out to the side as the toe comes out. If you need your chair in front of you for balance, then just lift up the one arm. So you'll have one arm on the chair and one arm coming to the side. Okay. Keep it going. Okay, and then in 3, 2, and 1, we'll go back to that march. All right, halfway through this last section now, so we're going to go to those front taps. This time, as we do the front toe tap, we're going to do an upright row action. So hands are in front at the belly button, up to our chest, picking the elbows nice and high. If you imagine a plunger in front of you, you're pushing it down. Keeping the elbows nice and high, keeping those toes tapping forward. Good, keep it up. I know it's getting warm now. Okay, and in 3, 2, 1, we'll go back to that march, keeping the arms pumping. Okay, I'm going to turn side on so you can see, because we're going to send those toe taps backwards, and our arm movement is going to be a front raise. Okay, so off you go. So toes backwards, arms up. If you're seated, SJ is doing the heels forward and arms up. Good, really stretch back as far as you're comfortable. Okay, and in 3, 2, 1, we're coming back to that march, arms pumping. Okay. All right, we're on our final movement now, and it's those hamstring curls. So a little bit of a wider stance, and you're going to bring the heel up to the bum. So if you are doing the seated version, SJ will be showing that, and it's the heel tap forward and the chest press. So same arm action, but we're just doing a heel tap forward. Okay, that's good. And keep it up. Keep those heels coming up to the bum, or the heels tapping forward. And in 3, 2, 1, back to that march. Okay, so this is the end of the warm-up. So from here, you can then follow on to one of our other workout videos, so the cardiovascular section or one of the strengthening videos.